Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also, please click the like button to help me grow the channel and get the word out on dividend growth investing. Getting paid just for owning stocks, this is what dividend investing is all about. This is my weekly buy video, and my current strategy is to deposit $100 of my own money per week and let the portfolio do the heavy lifting for me going forward. All dividends received will be reinvested back into that stock from which it was received. My goal is to put this money to work for me in the long term to build a growing and reliable income stream. I am a long-term buy and hold investor who focuses primarily on individual blue chip stocks as well as ETFs and CEFs. What we're looking at right now is my M1 taxable stock brokerage account. So let's take a look at the performance of the last week since the last buy video. Click here, and looks like the portfolio is down 2.03% from the last week, over $4,000 negative. And let's just jump into the activity log. And we can see here that the last two dividends I received were from BlackRock and Lockheed Martin. And we can see here's my $100 deposit, which I do every Monday morning. And let's take a look at the three buys here, the 112.49. And the reason why it's 112.49, not $100, is these are dividends being reinvested with Lockheed and BlackRock. So that's going to be two of those buys, and we'll see what the one buy was for $100. You can see up here's Lockheed Martin 378 and BlackRock 871 for the dividend reinvestments or DRIP. And here's JEPI. The $100 went right there and bought 1.825951. So almost 2 shares of JEPI. That's where my money went to. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to a Google Sheets doc. And this is where I track the whole portfolio. And the portfolio, if you're interested, it has a total of 71 positions. I will leave a link below so you can see my M1 pie. And also I'll leave a link below also for the spreadsheet that tracks everything in here. And where I track things like the share price, number of shares, market value, cost basis, my gain or loss, dividend per share, yield percentage, my yield on cost. This is the date where each stock is going to pay me its dividend. You can see this is how I actually arrange or sort the sheet, is by that date. And when a new dividend pay date is announced, say for General Mills, it's probably up next, then what I do is I will rearrange it, and it will be probably August 2nd, right around there is the next time General Mills is going to pay. You can see it's kind of like an advent calendar. Every couple days I'm getting paid. And you can see the estimated dividend. This is kind of the high water mark I've bought up to. Sometimes I do a purchase that's after the exit dividend date. So sometimes you'll see the actual dividend, which is in column M here, is a little bit lower. And the reason why it's higher is what I do is I reinvest the dividends back in, so you can see the result of those drips are making the next payment. That's if I don't buy any more shares, even higher. It just keeps going up as I buy more shares. And you can see here's the total dividends paid per investment. And also I track the increase that the stock, when they increase their dividend, and what the last increase was. You can see for PNC they had a very large dividend increase of 20%. And the increase month is variable. Looks like PNC does not consistently announce a dividend increase annually or at the same time. Most of my investments do, like a Coke or Pepsi, Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, are pretty much clockwork annually. And the ones that don't announce an annual dividend consistently, I put variable as their increase month. But most of them, like I said, actually have a month to them. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pull some data from M1, and I'm going to update my monthly cash flow average, because when I purchase new shares of stock, my monthly cash flow average goes up. So we're going to see the effect of that here shortly. And what I do is I go to my M1 data tab and I paste in the information right over here in cell A1. I'm going to go to M1 and back to this page, and I just go to the holdings tab and grab from name and scroll down. I've captured all of the data here, and I go back here and I paste special, values only. And all this is really doing is updating the number of shares and my cost basis, and it's going to pull that data over here. We can see the number of shares, like for instance BST, it's doing a VLOOKUP. Actually, it's doing a VLOOKUP for all the positions for the number of shares as well as cost basis, so I don't have to keep on inputting those. Sometimes if I do a large deposit, and I do up to, I've seen before, I've done 30 plus buys, I don't want to keep updating the shares for 30 positions manually, go over, pull it from M1, type it in. Same with my cost basis, so I just paste it in there. So if you use M1, this sheet is probably would be a good fit for you if you want to do updates and you have a lot of positions. You have one or two, it's probably no big deal. You can just type it in yourself. So let's go over here. So the new monthly cash flow average is $816.76. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my monthly average dividend tracking sheet, and I track anything that is a if a stock raises their dividend, if they lower their dividend, if I make a deposit, things like that. Anything that's going to affect my monthly cash flow average. We'll take a look here. When SCHD on the 22nd, they raised their dividend from 59 cents to 66 cents. You can see it was almost added $25 to my cash flow. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in the today's date. We're at the 26th today. Copy this over. Just going to drag this down. So we started at 816.07, and now we're up to 816.76. There we go. So you can see the added 69 cents to my change to monthly income, and that's because of a $100 deposit. That's because of the deposit, buying the JEPI, as well as Lockheed Martin and BlackRock dividend drips. Right there, yep, 816.76. You can see the quarterly and the yearly, almost up to 10,000 in my yearly cash flow average, getting really close. We'll take a look at the dividend tracker. This shows everything from when I started tracking this back in January 2021. You can see the portfolio value, where I started from. You can see my deposits. You can see a really large influx of cash here. This is home equity I had in a home I no longer own. I just deployed that and put it to work for me within the portfolio. I have since backed off. You can see in December going forward, I've been much more, the deposits have been much more conservative. I see that probably going forward. And with the $100 this morning, you can see just for the month of June, this should close out June, just $400 invested. The portfolio value, as well as here's the dividend so far for June, and we're far from over. And we'll see a count up for the 2023 quarter two. We'll see how that compares to the quarter one for 2023. and I see that going up, and I'll of course have a percentage increase for the quarter-on-quarter increase, as well as the dollar amount. You can see the annual dividends here. Under 1,659 in year one, almost 3,000 in year two. You can see here in 2023, we've already exceeded all of the dividends in 2022 by almost $700 there. We can see here's the average monthly dividend. It keeps climbing, with the exception of in March, SCHD announced a lower dividend, and JEPI's been dropping its dividend. Hopefully JEPI brings it back up, but you can see here it's trending back upwards despite even JEPI dropping its dividend. You can see the month-over-month increase in the average monthly income, and again there's the deposits. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys, was what I bought. And of course the answer you saw before was JEPI. Of course that's not investing advice, that's just what I'm buying, and maybe to give you an idea of something to take a look at. You can see where JEPI is in my portfolio. You can see here I have 238 shares with a market value of $13,000, and it paid me $85.64. So with the additional 1.8 shares I bought, and hopefully with JEPI raising their dividend, we're going to get this closer to or even over the $100 mark. We can see in the history here, the most JEPI has paid me in a month is $134.93. Hopefully we get back up to those amounts, and of course what that's going to do is it's going to be a snowball to buy even more shares. So that's all I pretty much had for you guys. Thanks for sticking to the end, and if you got value from this video, please click the like button. Please subscribe so you do not miss future videos. Again, I'll do a recap of my June, all of my June dividends next week. And everyone take care and have a great week.